Steve Shermer. We just got done with the Memorial. We are now rolling into the LIV Houston Best Bet Show. Steve, I know you got a heart out because you're a big time TV personality now. You got to go do that. So I guess let's just get it rolling, brother.
I know. Well, first things first. How do you feel about golfing in 107-degree heat index? I mean, you being in Florida, it's usually when you just not play, right?
You don't play. You just don't. Like it's like the summertime. Like listen, you go out, like you'll catch good days and things like that. But unless you have the first tee time or you try to squeeze in 18 going at like 5 p.m., like forget about it. Cam knows too, golfing down in Texas. It's a fucking nightmare. It's awful. And I'm not betting a single fat guy. I'm not betting a single fair-skinned European. Like I need somebody who understands what it's like to golf in the heat and the humidity and who's used to it, because it is a different fucking animal. It really is.
Okay. What about kind of a husky guy who is a Texan? No. Okay.
Well, the Texan, maybe. I don't know. How husky are we talking?
Yeah, we'll talk about him.
We're talking like the husky jeans that like Bugle Boy used to shame me in when I was like a 10-year-old boy and I had to go to the husky session.
Maybe we'll talk about him in a little bit, but I don't understand how the week before the U.S. Open they decide they want to go play in Texas in June. Like that just seems like a bad idea. So I don't know.
No, I agree. I think it's dumb.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a shotgun start right at noon. So
oh my god, I didn't even think about that. They're not even going off in the morning. They're going off at like death time.
Basically, yeah, they're gonna be playing from like noon to like 5. That point.
That's Brooks is not winning. Like he's tapped out already. Let's see. All right, I can eliminate. I can eliminate some pieces.
Well, that's you want to play narratives. You want to play narrative street before we go to the
we'll
golf
do
course?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have the week before the U.S. Open in 107-degree heat. Who is actually going to go full bore before going to Pinehurst, which is a very long, demanding, difficult golf course? Like,
all right, so you got to think about the hardos, right? So Bryson checks that box.
Okay,
Bryson,
I would agree. He's also he's a Texas transplant now, so he's got pride playing in his adopted home state now. So I would agree with that.
Okay, no way. Well, I don't know. Rahm seems like he just wants to win. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Rahm, but I'm not betting him. Neiman, no. Brooks Koepka, no fucking shot. Gooch is a hardo.
I mean, he decided he's not even going to play the U.S. Open. So he's got everything to play for this week.
That's a good point. Hatton, no shot. He's fucking from England. He's going to tap out. Answer might be all right.
Answer is not in the U.S. Open. So there you go.
Burmeister, no. DJ, never, ever, ever again. I guess I'm putting money on him.
I mean, thank you. Did the LIV Vegas money run out already, or is he still swimming in his gold coins?
I think he's still swimming in his gold coins. Sergio, maybe. He's a Texan now, isn't he? Doesn't he live out there?
Yeah, he is. He's a Dallas guy. And he also lost in a playoff to get to the U.S. Open, so he is not playing next week. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So that angle, you also have 17 guys who just played on Monday, 36 holes. So they will be playing, it's 18 less holes playing on LIV, but they will be now playing 80 holes.
That's I don't think that's a bad thing.
Okay. You don't think it's a bad thing? Playing a lot of golf?
No, I mean, maybe getting back to his roots a little bit. See, Reed's a fat fuck, but he's
no. So Sergio played 2 weeks ago at the qualifier. Did not play on Monday.
Oh, so he's fine. I like Sergio then. I like Sergio.
No, I'm talking about guys like Neiman and Schwartzel and Carlos Ortiz, and there's a lot of LIV guys showed up to play the Monday qualifiers, and only 2 of 17 actually made it, by the way. So, hey, they get to enjoy 107-degree heat index in Houston. What a lovely time of year to go down there. I've been to Houston. I used to have a client down there, but when I think about Texas, though, I had to go to Corpus Christi on Labor Day weekend to do an inventory count, and the warehouse had no air conditioning. Worst 36 hours of my life because none of the inventory reconciled. We actually ended up walking off the job at that point and saying, "You guys figured this out." So Complete waste of time. Lost about 15 pounds of water weight at that point. So probably a good thing. I could probably stand to lose there 15 pounds of water weight. So maybe I should actually book a trip down to Houston to lose some pounds this week. But all right. Do you want to see this golf course?
Yeah.
Okay.
After you said, I was like, oh, I know the golf course. As soon as you said, for some reason, I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
All right. So what do you remember about the golf course then? Do you remember some guys who have won this event?
No, I don't. I was like, you know, my memory's shit. I just remember knowing, I remember seeing it. Like, my memory's god awful.
Okay. All right. So remember when Ian Poulter had to get into the Masters by winning
Yes.
the Houston Open?
I do.
And he beat poor Bo Hostler in the playoff there.
I remember not being happy about it because back then, like, I just thought Poulter was just like this European prick, and I wasn't really into golf yet. And it was like kind of on the edges of following it. And I was like, well, I don't like this fucking asshole. And I was very mad that he got his car.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure maybe the only reason I might even have known it was because of fucking Barstool, believe it or not.
Okay. Lanto Griffin is the reigning champion here. Mr. Mule himself.
Lanto.
That was, I'll show you that leaderboard later. So that was when the Houston Open lost its sponsor, and it was a lame duck year for this golf course because they were going to go to Memorial Park. They punted it to the fall. The field was horrible, absolutely terrible. Like the top 10, you're going to be like, you're going to cringe when I show you who's in that top 10. Russell Henley, though, he is the horse for the course at this place. And that's probably just something to keep in mind in general when we go through what you got to do well here, the types of things that usually separate yourself on the leaderboard, because Data Golf has a bunch of course history that we can actually go through. That's still relevant. The golf course hasn't changed at all. But Russell Henley's been really good here. Paul Casey's been really good here. Good ball strikers, accurate ball strikers, because as I'm going to show you right now, let's go to here. There we go. This is the Golf Club of Houston, and you can see here all the way to the back, a lot of water all the way down here. And so this opened in 2002. It actually has 2 golf courses. This is the members course up here. This is actually where the Shell Houston Open originally played. But then in 2006, Reese Jones came in, an original Reese Jones design, by the way. Usually he takes really good golf courses and puts his own spin on it, and they usually are worse after he's done with it.
You hate him.
I just think
you hate him. Just
this golf course,
for the people who are new, you hate him.
I don't hate the man because I never met the man. I don't think he's particularly imaginative. And these holes are just kind of blah, I would say. Look at this first hole here. This is just a shorter version of something you see at Torrey Pines. Straight away, bunkers on both sides, tiny little green guarded by a bunker.
That's how I know you
every
hate
single
this
hole
course.
at Torrey Pines.
That's how I know you hate this course. You mentioned Torrey Pines within the first fucking 3 minutes of describing a course.
Listen, Reese Jones redid Torrey Pines. He did this golf course. So, but as I mentioned, though, ton of water on this golf course. So it's a par 72, 7,425 yards. But the average driving distance at this tournament was usually only between like 280, 285. Now, this is like 5 years ago, but, this is definitely one where guys were tiptoeing because there's so many water hazards. Like, for example, like number 3 here, this is only 392, but you have water all the way down the left here. The fairway pinches in about like 280, 290, 300. So guys are just taking less than driver to avoid the water, set up a short iron into the green. Same thing on probably number 4 here. It's a really narrow fairway. You can't really see it, but it's a really narrow fairway with water down the left. Again, you're just tiptoeing around the place. You're not really unleashing the driver, even though it is 7,400 yards. You would think it is. But, so water comes into play almost a ton on the front 9 here on 4, 5 off the tee, 6 on the approach shot, 7 on this little par 3 here, 8, the par 5. Water comes into play off the tee and near the green as well. Comes into play again on number 12 and 11. There's a lot of water. And it reminds me, we'll go through some of the comp course that Data Golf says. It's like, but it's basically just an easier version of Doral that we saw a couple weeks ago. Just water everywhere.
Oh, I can see that, especially back it was at number 4. I see
number
some
4
Doral.
here.
Was it
Yeah.
number 4 or number 5?
Yeah, number 4, number 5.
Yeah, number 4.
You know,
Yeah.
or like,
Yep.
or like Bay Hill. You know, I mean, just like,
Yeah, but Bay Hill,
listen,
I like
like,
Bay
you know,
Hill.
you
I
get,
like Bay Hill.
yeah, like, you know, you kind of got to, you know, it's turned into a bomber's track, but if you're spraying it everywhere, the penalty strokes can rack up, and we'll go. I'll show you the stats page as usually. It was one of the highest penalty rates off the tee for any golf course in the PGA Tour. But yeah, like a lot of those types of you know, golf courses, and you know, I mean, the leaderboards kind of showed it, you know, over the years. So. Here's on Live Golf Houston. This is their scorecard. It's going to be 7,425 yards, but I know. So we're going to go to this, the GCSAA. This is from back in 2019. This is when they had it in the fall. And what was actually unique about this one was this was actually full of Bermuda, because when it was in the spring, it was all overseeded. This is all Bermuda. So the agronomy here is going to be the same. Mini Verde Bermuda grass greens, only about 1 3/4 inch rough. So, you know, typically these live events set up their golf courses pretty similarly. The rough isn't usually all that penal, so it's probably going to be about the same length this year. You know, par 72. So longer golf course, but with a lot of water, narrow fairways. You know, you're pulling less than driver, a lot of holes, Bermuda as well. So try and think of those types of golfers, you know, who are pretty good in those conditions when picking live golfers this week. And like I mentioned too, I that Doral leaderboard, I think based on some of the bets I made, I think it's going to be fairly similar that we're going to see this week. Capper, do you have any questions so far before we move on?
No.
Okay.
I think this, man, with the heat and everything we already talked about, I really feel like there's not that many guys who can win. But who fucking knows? This is a live. Who fucking knows?
I know. I mean, Brendan Steele won an event a couple of weeks ago.
My God, and he stole a lot of money too. Who did I had? Who was in second? Was it Burmeister that I had to fucking?
I think I had Louis.
I had like 2 or 3 second places in this goddamn hell.
I've had Cam Smith in the playoff. I had Louis.
Yep, me too.
And then actually at Singapore, I think I had Cam Smith and Leishman, and Koepka beat both of them. And I can't believe I wasn't on Koepka.
Yeah, that's right, you did.
That was the worst. I have not had a good season. It's been brutal. So
I wish Bland wasn't so old and fucking pale, and the sun is gonna melt him. Like I would love to bet fucking Bland at fucking 50 to 1. Yeah.
All right. So predictive skill set chart. The only thing that actually is highly correlated is guys who drive it really good. So length, you know, long and straight, but the accuracy
touchdowns are good by Matt.
Yeah, but the accuracy portion though, that is like that was significantly higher than like the PGA Tour average. Like, you know, basically like, again, like I just mentioned, Paul Casey, really good here. Good combination of length and accuracy. Russell Henley hits a ton of fairways. You know, guys like that. Adam Scott, I think, won this back in like 2006. You know, really good driver of the golf ball. So, but you know, iron play, it's important, but it's not as important as other venues. Around the green doesn't really matter at all. I'm not even factoring that in. I don't have the page pulled up, but you know how I show you on the previous shows, like the difficulty in shots, like compared to other PGA Tour venues. So off the tee, it's 8th toughest of like 85 venues. And approach shots around the green and putting is like sub 70. It's so easy. So essentially the game this week is just keep the ball in play off the tee. And you probably are going to end up carding a pretty good score. If you are spraying it everywhere, the strokes are going to pile up. But that's pretty much the name of the game this week. As far as comp courses, I just mentioned, and this is probably going to say, and I just said, you can't spray the ball. It's going to lead you to think about one particular golfer. So some of the comp courses, the Data Golf says, Bay Hill, very strong correlated golf course to that. TPC Deer Run, another one. The Old White TPC, that is the Greenbrier. Oak Hill, is another one. Quail Hollow, TPC Boston.
Jesus Christ.
So let me tell you something. I just said like 6 really correlated golf courses. Who has been extremely good at all of those courses?
So Bryson and Hatton.
I mean, other than Greenbrier and Deer Run, sure.
So who else has been great at those?
No, Hatton's only been at like Bay Hill. That's really about it. No, Bryson.
Why do I feel like Hatton's done better than he has? Oh, no.
Because of Bay Hill.
Like
That's really about it. So now this
Bryson.
essentially is
Great.
screaming
7-1. Super fun.
This is essentially screaming Bryson. If those are your close, and even like Doral too, like that would be like Bryson played pretty well there. So that's your single bullet this week, everybody.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm not doing it because I just don't single bullet because I'm stupid. I like losing. But
have you ever seen? I don't think you've ever single bulleted on the show.
I single bulleted Scotty at the Tour Championship a couple of years ago, and he had a 6-stroke lead, and he lost. And that's why I don't single bullet. And yeah, that's another one that just missed the pain rankings, by the way.
Oh,
that one.
Oh,
as I was at the driving range trying to figure out why, just trying to work out my driver, I was struggling, and I'm just looking at my phone. You're buzzing me. It's down to 5, down to 3, and he lost, blown a 6-shot lead there. So, anyways, but yes. So I think actually, hold on. Let me go to the betting page right now.
All right.
We're going to jump around a little bit. So you got basically three options of single bullet. Bryson, Rahm, Neiman. All those guys are 10-1 or better. I think the decision is single bullet Bryson or go down the card.
Okay.
That's basically what this golf course is kind of telling you at this point. And Bryson, to his credit too, like we think like Big Bomber, but he's been actually hitting a ton of fairways this year. Like he's been driving the ball. So yeah, that driver combination he has with that crank driver and the shaft that he has, like it's just, he's really got that thing dialed. So yeah, am I terrified that I'm just basically betting 4 losers are going to finish T5, T7, T13, T19 to Bryson this week? Yeah, I am. Nope. But that's what I didn't go. I decided not to go that route. So, all right. Excuse me. Let's go to past leaderboards. As I mentioned, Lanto Griffin. Look at this leaderboard, by the way. I gotta explain. Okay. The last Houston Open at the Golf Club of Houston. Lanto Griffin wins at 14 under. Scott Harrington, Mark Hubbard, T2.
Homo subs.
Yep. Xinjun Zhang, Harris English, big name. Carlos Ortiz, Sepp Straka, Taylor Gooch. All right, a decent crop.
Gooch? Sink is not terrible. I've seen way worse.
So there you go. But then Stuart Sink, Chad Campbell, Bud Cauley, Denny McCarthy before he was kind of really Denny McCarthy.
I've seen way worse leaderboards.
Okay, that's pretty bad though. For fall.
It is bad. I'm not saying it's not bad. I'm just saying it's worse.
But anyway, so like some notable live guys, you got Ortiz, you got Gooch, you got Cameron Tringali, T13 here.
Tringali.
That's really about it. But yeah, like, I mean, Mark Hubbard, fairly accurate player. Harris English, fairly accurate player. Sepp Straka, good driver, accurate player. Gooch, kind of a shorter hitter. But Denny McCarthy, accurate player. All right, 2018. This was the year that Ian Poulter had to get into the Masters. Ian Poulter wins in the playoff 19 over Bo Hasser. You got Griot, Spieth, Stenson, Keith Mitchell, Kuchar, Russell Henley again, Abe Answer T8, Shane Lowry T14. So this is more like the typical ball striker leaderboard when you get an actual field here that you would expect at Golf Club of Houston. Just accurate balls.
You just like it because Stenson was a top 10.
Yeah, Stenson's good here, but just your accurate ball strikers. You keep the ball in play.
What happened to Matt Every?
To Matt Every?
Yeah.
Matt Every got
I ignored the other name for a reason, and I'm good.
Matt Every got popped for weed. And now he's actually on PG Tour Live, and he's actually really good at it. He's really good at his job on that show. So
Interesting.
Yep. All right. So that's that leaderboard. Again, you're
He
accurate.
got popped for weed, and he couldn't golf anymore.
Okay. 2017, Russell Henley wins over your boy Sung Kang. Luke List, probably the first bomber.
Let's go, baby.
Probably the first real bomber I've seen of this. Then Ricky, Berger, Hudson Swafford, Kyle Stanley, Zach Blair, John Rahm T10 back in 2017. Justin Rose T15. So again, like you're starting to see a little bit of a trend here. And if you go to how guys actually separate themselves, this is from let's go to 2017? Let's go to 2020. So on the leaderboard, the better you drove it, the better you did overall. And it was mostly driven by how accurate you were, not by how far you hit it. And everything else is kind of de-emphasized. Yeah. In 2018, it was a similar story. Again, like basically, accuracy is more important than distance here. How you drove within the tournament is how you basically did. So it's kind of what I went for this week. I went for guys who have been driving it relatively well this year on LIV, hit a lot of fairways, pretty good at. Oh, actually, that's one last thing. Let me go back to that. The proximity chart for the types of approach shots you're hitting at this place. Lot of short irons. So it's a lot of short irons here. Come on, load up. Yeah, so higher proportion of shorter irons, a lot of shots over 250, less shots between like 125 and like 225. Even though you're still hitting a fair amount, it's less than what you normally would hit on the PGA Tour. So, that's why you kind of see a Russell Henley. Some of the shorter hitters do a little better. Guys are a little better with the shorter irons, and accurate, and roll a bunch of putts, do well. So let's go to the odds board here. Okay. So I just mentioned earlier, decisions either single bullet Bryson or you go somewhere else. So I'm assuming you probably went somewhere else, is my guess.
Yeah, of course. So,
okay. All right. So who'd you bet then?
But so I don't know. So answer seems good to me.
Okay. Answer has a T8 in his only finish here.
Yeah.
He has been playing awesome golf lately.
I really like Sergio.
Okay. You like Sergio. Sergio has been one of the better drivers on LIV this year.
On LIV.
Yep. He has.
Crazy. Like he's got,
I think, a third place finish here back in like a decade ago. But he's got a couple top fives here.
And he lost in a playoff to Neiman.
He also lost in a playoff to Burmester at Doral.
That's right. Because I had Sergio then too.
Yeah.
So Sergio's destined for a top 5. Just bet Sergio destined for a top 5. Because here's the deal. I'm going to bet Sergio. He's from Texas, used to the heat. Listen, I'm telling you right now, if you are not used to this fucking heat, it will fucking end your life if you're trying to golf. Like, it is that bad. Like, listen, granted, these guys aren't, knocking back double gin and tonics like I am on the golf tours. But the point remains. It's hot.
Okay. All right. I also have bet Sergio at 35-1 for all the reasons you just said. He's been very close.
35?
I got 30. Yeah, 35. Actually, it's still available on DraftKings right now.
Can I send you money?
No, bet your own, buddy. So, been close to winning. Couple second place finishes, lost in a playoff. Been driving the ball great though. Has a couple top 5s here. Good ball straight numbers. The putting has been up and down. He has flashed some decent putting weeks though.
Yeah. He won putting with his fucking eyes closed.
At the Sanderson, yes. On Bermuda, by the way. I think actually the same exact Bermuda, too. So,
ooh.
Yeah. And again, Texas guy now, used to the heat. So, all right. And then I also have bet a answer as well. 25-1. Just playing really good golf right now, hitting a bunch of fairways, putting well, too. The one thing he hasn't been doing very well this year is scrambling, but that's really de-emphasized here because if you just keep it in the fairway, the approach shots are really easy. The around the green conditions are really easy as well. Putting's really easy here too. I know he's already won, but I mean, He's been pretty good at some other Russell Henley type golf courses so far in his career as well. So, and he had a T8 here in his only finish. So, answer is also a bet for me. So there's two guys right there. Okay. I also had bet Louis again because I love betting guys who finish in second. And I'm just going to do it again. But again, similar vein, hitting a bunch of fairways, playing really good golf. He's got a couple top 10s here at Houston as well. So that's a guy who's going to keep the ball and play in front of him. I know sometimes when he gets in colder conditions, sometimes back tightens up. We're not going to have to worry about him in the heat. So,
that's very true.
There you go. And then those are three guys right there. And then I'm going to kick it back to you. So who else are you considering betting here?
Peters.
Thomas Peters. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Playing good golf.
I know. But it's Thomas Peters. Like I can't tell anyone to bet Thomas Peters. I've lost so much money on this fucking stiff. Like I can't get just recommend anyone else to bet it, but I will be betting Thomas Peters.
Thomas Peters is a drug. I will give you that.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so
but
bad.
What do you do at Doral? So Peters, Peters playing great. So
I know.
So he gained 6 strokes on the field at Doral, gained 3.7 at Adelaide, gained 6.8 at Singapore. He's been a little erratic.
He never wins. He doesn't win.
He's been a little erratic with his accuracy, but the iron play has been a little better for Peters lately. So
that just terrifies
me. And that's why he's been.
So
yeah. And what's the best price you can get on Peters? There's 50 to 1s on him, 40 to 1.
Yeah, 50s. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna bet him. Fuck.
Okay. You can get DJ at over 20 to 1 now.
No, he is no. He gives 0 fucks about golf. No.
Okay. What about any consideration for Taylor Gooch at 16?
I just don't like him, so no.
You just don't like him. But
no,
all right, take your feelings out of it.
Then yes, he was absolutely in a great position. But I already bet Sergio. I don't have him at 35. I have him at 20. So I can't fit Hatton too.
Okay. So you're not going Hatton either at 12 to 1.
No. My shortest bet's gonna be Garcia at fucking 20.
Okay. All right. What about Patrick Reed?
So I thought about the same thing, but he's fat.
Well, he's from Texas, though.
I guess that negates it a little bit. It really does. Like if you get used to it, like I'm used to it down here.
Yeah.
What's the best number you get on Patty Reed?
I got him at 33.
That's a good number.
Yeah. I mean, most available at 30, 28, 30. He's been playing a little better. Top 10 to Doral, T15, I think it's Singapore. I mean, what did he finish? Like T12 at the Masters?
Yeah.
He's not totally dead.
But
he hasn't been playing all that great. I will give you that. But talk about a guy who loves his Reese Jones golf courses. So
that's true. I didn't even think of that.
Winner at Torrey Pines. Yeah. Winner at Bethpage Black. So there you go.
How the hell did he win Bethpage Black?
This was when it was a FedEx Cup event. But still, he won Bethpage. So, and you want to go down Narrative Street?
Come on.
Not in the U.S. Open next week.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Mr. Captain America, that probably is a little bit of a hit to his ego. And he's not won on LIV yet. He's in Texas guy. Maybe he goes all out to get the win.
Yeah, listen, I don't hate it. This is way worse than ours that I bet on.
Okay. All right, so those are my 4 bets. Louis, Answer, Reed, Garcia. Those are
so I'm gonna go Sergio, Peters.
How about your boy Blandy?
I just go Sergio and Peters.
About your boy
Blandy? No, he's too old and too pale.
What about positional?
Yeah, I could do a positional. I might do. I'll see what his top 10 price.
So top 20 price minus 135. Top 10. I don't think he has a top 10 this year. Plus 230. There's only one book, but
I'll probably pass.
Okay.
What about Puig? What do you feel about Puig?
Puig, you mean?
Yeah, whatever.
He's playing good golf. I mean,
Is it really
so he's
proved or
playing.
not
So he's
proved?
playing good golf everywhere but live. It seems
Interesting.
like.
So that's I feel like that's what I like. I remember hearing something and I was like, oh, well, let me take a look. And of course, I can't find anything. So
Yeah, so he's won, I think, twice on the Asian Tour this year, and he just medaled at. Well, he won the qualifier, so he's in the U.S. Open. So motivation questions.
I feel like just for the bit, I should bet my favorite Texan.
Kokrak,
Who's my favorite Texan? There you
dude,
go.
he might be
He
dead.
sucks.
He
stinks. Oh
sucks.
yeah, maybe that's why I say it like that. Pete said, "You see week?" Yeah, so that's why I say it that way.
Yeah, he stinks.
I know he stinks. He took his bag and he loves his cocaine and he's not caring about golf anymore.
Okay, all right. Now you said I had to go to rehab for Sung J M on the last show.
Yeah.
Here's another drug I love taking.
Stop.
Well, Matthew Wolf.
Why? Stop.
I mean, so he played really well at Doral.
Sure he did.
And then he played terrible in Adelaide and Singapore. But he has spiked like randomly this year.
It's fine. Keep this fine. Listen, I have my losers that I like to keep losing money on. You keep doing you too, man. Many times you tell me, I think pretty sure it was Sanjay. You told me like I should buy a shot caller for you. And then every time you want to bet him, I was supposed to shock you. And we are at least 9 to 12 bets of Sanjay after that statement. And he is still yet to cash you a fucking winner.
No, that turned into Xander. And look what happened. And look what happened to me.
Yeah. So now, okay. All right.
I think the difference for me with Wolf is where he's spiked has been driver heavy golf courses.
Yeah, obviously.
And this one is not really one of those. So that's probably a pass for me. Well, what about your boy of the year, Lucas Herbert?
No, he's fucking so wild off the. He is no. He's
okay.
No.
All right.
No.
How about who's playing good golf? You hate this guy. Kevin Na's playing decent golf this year.
Oh, I hate Kevin Na too. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay. You're good on him? I mean, he's going to hit a lot of fairways.
I don't care.
Decent with his short irons.
Stinks.
Okay.
Stinks.
All right.
Plus, the team name is so bad.
I mean, they are just bad. Like them and the Majestics, the team with 3 captains.
I always forget about it.
Horrific.
Yeah. Keep track of the captains.
They are horrific. How about former winner at Golf Club of Houston, Matt Jones?
So I thought about Matt Jones, but he has been bad. And you know me, I love Matt Jones. I could bet on him for the rest of my life and still not lose money on him.
All right, so he was okay in Australia, in front of his home crowd. Terrible in Singapore, but terrible in Miami.
Yeah, that's Australia. Like,
okay.
I feel like he got up for it, and now he's back to being like, oh, I got a shit ton of money, and I'm Matt Jones. I'm almost 50. Like,
all right. What's Brendan Steele done at Houston? Because he's still the same, like, really good ball striker. Yeah, has not a lot of good results here in Houston. But he's still like the same, like, really good ball striker, can't putt guy. It all came together from Adelaide. So I don't know. That's probably a pass. Other than that, though, I mean, you start getting to just Phil is just completely washed. Danny Lee. Yeah. Are you gonna get the sympathy Anthony Kim top 20 bet, just burning money like you did last time?
I think I'm done burning money on that.
What if I told you Anthony Kim has won here?
Oh, fuck you. Why? Fine, one more time. One more time, baby. One more time.
Because they're literally marketing that this week. That Anthony Kim, I think this was his last win on PGA Tour.
Got good feelings going in the building? Okay. All right.
He has been.
I like it.
I mean, look. I know. Some of the guys, like, if you look, like, how I'm escalating the ball striking stuff, some of the guys who are, like, average or below average look a lot better because of Anthony Kim. Because Anthony Kim significantly drives down the average.
All right, goddamn it. One more time. I'm going back to the well.
All right.
One more time. Redemption story. It's going to dunk on you this week, Steve. Top 5.
Top 5? Okay.
Top 5.
What's a hotter take? Scotty has no chance of winning, or Anthony Kim top 5 this week?
Anthony Kim top 5. Wait,
I would agree. All right. Last guy, we skipped over him. Leishman playing awesome golf right now.
I don't give a fuck. That fat fuck is not going to make it around 110-degree heat.
So
No shot.
So what's funny about that is, so he was awesome after 18 holes on Monday, and then completely imploded on his last 18 to miss the U.S. Open qualifier.
Yeah, because he's fat and out of shape.
Right. That is concerning this week. In 170.
The chafe on the inner thighs of Mark Leishman after the first round of 110-degree golf. There's not enough Gold Bond in the world to make him feel comfortable on his next set of 18. He is going to be fucking miserable.
Okay. All right. Actually, this is the last guy. Paul Casey, very popular pick this week.
Never, ever. Fuck Paul Casey.
Great ball striker, has popped a couple times, lost in, I think, Hong Kong, former winner at Houston.
Stinks.
Not for me, but he's a very popular pick this week.
So, I mean, I get it, but it's just Paul Casey for me.
Yeah, it's just, great ball striker, terrible putter. That's what guys are really
like. I'm going to
this week.
Two losers right next to each other, Casey and Peters. I'm going to take Peters, a guy who I like, versus a guy who I wouldn't piss on if he was on fire. I mean,
Casey's sandwiched between two guys you love, Blandy and Peters. So,
dude, I love Bland. What a great story Bland was.
I know.
It was a great story. You shit on it, but that was a beautiful story.
I'm not shitting on it. I've been pumping up Blandy all year, saying he's one of the best iron players on LIV.
It's fucking insane.
It's true.
Yeah. So you know those guys who you go out with and play like your local 18 with, who play like old man golf and like crush your score and they look like ass doing it. That's Richard Bland on the professional level. It's insane.
Yeah. So, all right. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
No, that's it. I guess we'll be back on Sunday for who do we have for guests next week? Anybody?
I think we got to work on that. We'll talk offline. But I think we do have a vacancy.
Because what's next week?
Are you serious?
It's open, right?
It's the U.S. Open.
Okay. So yeah, well, I'm so surprised we don't have a guest yet.
We both got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, man, whatever. Like, we'll be back on Sunday, do the recap, do the preview. Yeah, I'm excited to have two tournaments again. I hate the fact that Memorial's a no cut. I guess if I'm going to root for a no cut, might as well root for the tour that never had the cut. So maybe we can do it that way.
Honestly, I think this is going to be, unless you have a guy in the mix, you don't need to watch this event.
No, I wish we could bet on how many people will fall out.
Fall out?
Yeah.
Like with heat?
Like fall out, like pass out.
Withdraw?
From the heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay. Like all right. Over under 1.5 guys withdraw due to heat stroke.
Oh, fucking over. Including caddies? Including caddies?
You have
to move the line to 2.
You know what? If it's caddies, we're gonna go 2.5 now.
I'll still take the over.
Okay.
The over.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, go watch, if you're watching this on now, go watch Steve on Visit. He's going on to give some picks here in about 5-6 minutes. Follow him over in our Discord channel. You can follow Cam at the Golf Gambling Pod on Twitter and myself at Boston_Capper. Hockey's over, so it's back to screaming about golf. So other than that, listen, big week this week, bigger week next week. Cannot wait for the Open. Let's fatten up some wallets before we get there so we can blow some money next week. Let's go. I am excited for next week.